Hello dear friends, Lyuba Kuzmichova is with you, and today we are going to make individual cheesecakes in a modern format. They are very popular right now. It is beautiful, convenient, and stylish. The cheesecakes will be mousse style, no baking required, with the flavors yogurt, basil, mango. The combination is refreshing and very delicious. Let us get cooking. Let us start with the mango filling. We will need mango puree, mango cut into cubes, fresh as well as frozen will work, lemon juice, Pectin NH, sugar. We mix the sugar with the pectin, transfer the puree to a saucepan, add the sugar with the pectin, place it on the stove and heat to 87 degrees. We hold it at this temperature for about 1 minute to activate the pectin. We remove it from the stove, add the lemon juice, stir, add the mango cubes, distribute them through the entire mixture with a spatula, and pour the mixture into the molds. If the mango cubes have been distributed unevenly, you can arrange them manually with a spoon. We place the filling in the freezer until it is completely set. In the meantime, we will make shortbread cookies that will be the base for our cheesecakes. For the shortbread dough, we will need cold butter cut into cubes, cold egg yolks, flour, powdered sugar, almond flour, and a pinch of salt. We combine and whisk together all the dry ingredients. We transfer them to the mixer bowl, add the cold butter, and mix with the paddle attachment until the mixture forms a fine, uniform crumb. The crumb should be loose and uniform with no large pieces of butter. It should leave neither greasy traces of butter nor dry traces of flour on your hands. If the crumb is not uniform, mix it some more. Now we pour in the cold yolk and mix until the dough begins to come together into a ball. At this stage, it is ready. We finish mixing the dough by hand with literally a couple of motions so that it becomes uniform. We do not work with the dough for long so that it does not warm up. We immediately roll out the dough between 2 sheets of parchment paper. Shortbread dough is not rolled out in the usual sense, but rather smoothed from the center toward the edges. During the rolling, we periodically peel the paper away from the dough on both sides. You need to work quickly. The temperature of the dough must not go above 22 degrees. We roll it out fairly thin and immediately place the dough in the refrigerator for at least 5 hours to chill and set. After stabilization, we cut circles out of the dough and bake at a temperature of 160 degrees until an even golden caramel color forms across the entire surface. It is best to bake on a perforated mat, and during baking you can flip them once. It makes very tasty shortbread cookies. Until assembling the cheesecakes, we store it airtight at room temperature like regular cookies. We will make the base for whipped basil ganache. For it, we will need 2 parts cream with a fat content of 33%, white chocolate, glucose syrup, gelatin that has been pre-soaked in cold water, and our natural flavoring, fresh basil leaves. We heat the smaller portion of cream until steam appears, but we do not bring it to a boil. Into the hot cream, we add the chopped basil leaves. I tore them by hand, but the smaller the leaves are, the better the aroma will transfer into the cream. We stir, cover with plastic wrap, and leave to infuse for 30 minutes. Then, on the scale, we strain the basil cream through a sieve, gently pressing the leaves. We make up the missing amount with fresh cream to return to the original weight. The aroma is simply amazing, fresh and bright. We return the basil cream to the saucepan, add the glucose syrup and the bloomed gelatin, and heat until the gelatin is completely dissolved to roughly 60 degrees. At the same time, we melt the white chocolate. I do this in a water bath. You can use a microwave oven. The main thing is not to overheat the chocolate. Over the melted chocolate, we pour the hot basil cream with gelatin and blend with an immersion blender until everything is combined and uniform. Without stopping the blender, we pour in the second cold portion of cream and emulsify again until the texture is uniform and smooth. We pour the ganache into a flat container in a thin layer, cover with plastic wrap in contact, and place it in the refrigerator for 8 to 12 hours until fully stabilized. While the ganache stabilizes, we will prepare the yogurt cheesecakes. For the cheesecakes, we will need cream cheese, cream with a fat content of 33%, powdered sugar, natural 4% yogurt, gelatin previously soaked in cold water, yogurt powder. It is a concentrate of natural yogurt in dry form, similar in consistency to powdered milk. It enhances the flavor, adds fermented dairy notes, and makes the aroma more expressive. Lime zest, grated on a fine grater, it will add aroma, freshness, and accentuate the fermented dairy notes. We will start by preparing the softly whipped cream. They must definitely be well chilled. We whip, gradually increasing the speed. The cream begins to thicken and become airy. The softly whipped cream stage is when the mixture is already fluffy and voluminous, but it still does not hold its shape. The cream slowly runs off the spatula without forming peaks. The trace on the surface disappears immediately. This is exactly how they should turn out. They are often compared in texture to slightly melted ice cream. Immediately place them in the refrigerator until use. To the yogurt, we add the yogurt powder and mix thoroughly until the texture is smooth and uniform. We mix the room temperature cream cheese until it is uniform and smooth so that no lumps remain. We add the yogurt, powdered sugar, and lime zest to the cheese and mix again until everything is combined and uniform. The resulting mixture should be warm, about 30 degrees, so that when the melted gelatin is added, it does not separate. You can warm it slightly in the microwave or over a water bath, but do not overheat it above this temperature. We melt the gelatin to a liquid state in the microwave or over a water bath and cool it to 40-45 degrees. The main mixture must be warm, about 30 degrees, otherwise the gelatin will either seize or cause separation. At these temperatures, the mixture combines perfectly, turns homogeneous, and is ready for the addition of the cream, but on the condition that its temperature does not exceed from 30 to 33 degrees. We lightly stir the partially whipped cream with a spatula to restore its texture, and then, while continuously stirring, fold it into the main mixture. We carefully work with the spatula until a homogeneous, smooth mousse is achieved. It turns out thick and is already beginning to set, so we immediately move on to filling the molds. I use a simple silicone cylinder mold. I will list the sizes, as always, in the description under the video. We fill the cavities with the mousse almost to the top. Since the mousse has already begun to set, we spread it along the walls with a spoon or palette knife so that no gaps remain. We press the frozen mango filling into the center, add a little more mousse on top, and smooth the surface. By the way, place the mold on a board or base in advance so that it is convenient to move later. We place the filled mold in the freezer for at least 8 hours, better overnight, until full stabilization and freezing. After complete freezing, we remove the cheesecakes from the molds. If there are small irregularities on the surface, it means that in these areas the mold was not completely filled with mousse. You can pipe the mousse from a pastry bag, that will be more precise. We immediately move on to glazing. I use gourmet glaze. It is melted chocolate mixed with vegetable oil. The proportions will be under the video. I colored the glaze with a fat-soluble coloring, but you can leave it white. We spear the frozen cheesecake onto a skewer and quickly dip it into the glaze, leaving the top open. Ganache will go there. We let the excess glaze drip off and remove the extra against the bottom of the glass and immediately transfer onto the cookie. A thin layer of glaze on the bottom binds the cheesecake to the base and protects it from moisture. We work quickly to avoid the appearance of condensation. After glazing, we immediately place the cheesecakes in the refrigerator. We defrost only through the refrigerator in order to preserve the flavor and texture. We return to the basil ganache. It has completely stabilized. We whip it to the point when it becomes stable, but remains delicate and pliable. This is how the ganache should turn out. We transfer it into a pastry bag fitted with a tip and pipe, a fluffy swirl onto the surface of the cheesecakes. It looks very beautiful. For decoration, I use this amazing potted basil. It is incredibly aromatic and visually refreshing. The cheesecakes are ready. Look at how bright, stylish, and very appetizing they turned out. And most importantly, they are very delicious. The refreshing tang of yogurt and lime is perfectly complemented by the delicate aroma of basil and the sweet mango filling. And the crumbly base adds contrast and completes the composition. Friends, that is all from me. I very much hope that the recipe will inspire you. Luba was with you. I thank all of you for your attention. See you in new videos. Bye-bye.